Good morning, this is Daniel from End Time Country Living, and I'm out in my garden this morning. I need to got some cuttings of some berries, and I need to get them planted out here so that you can get rooting and growing this year. So first thing I gotta do is get figure out where I want to put the things and then get the soil ready. So I think I've figured out I have one Jostaberry that I want to try here. Not sure how tasty they're going to be. I may not even like them, but give them a try here. So I'm going to I think I found a spot over here where I can get them put in. So I'm going to try to mend the soil with a bunch of compost and stick them in there and get them rooted. They should root fairly easily because they're a cross between a actually a three-way cross. There's two different currants that it's crossed with and a gooseberry. So anyway, excited to give that a try. And then I also need to have an elderberry that I want to find a spot for, probably over by my what is it here? Mulberry. Have a mulberry tree, and I'll probably do it over there, just along the fence, somewhere fairly out of the way. Not something I want to eat very much of, just to sample a little bit here and there and gives the birds something to eat. That way they may leave our other berries alone more if those are there to eat. So something probably would. I'm not sure if the blooms are good for bees, but that might be a good bee attractant as well. So anyway, just kind of fun to have an elderberry. They're fun to sample occasionally. This is the perennial area here where I grow stuff that kind of stays for a long time. I have my herb garden a little over here, and this is where I also do my corn here in the middle. It's not perennial, but it just happens to be a space available until I fill it up with other berry bushes or something like that. I'll have to find another spot for the corn to go. So in here I got the gooseberries and the currants and a goji berry and some blueberries in there. So there's a few empty spots in between here right in the middle of the screen now, right there to the right of our currant, and there's another gooseberry here as well. I'm going to see if I can put the Jostaberry in here. So I got some grass in here I need to get hoed up, and then I'm going to get a shovel and rake back all the wood chips and dig it up and bring in some compost and mix it all in. So mix a lot, maybe 50-50 mix of compost and soil that's there, and see if that'll give it a good start. So I was just noticing out here in the bright sun that we have some elk out here this morning. So they're out here staring at me at the moment here, waiting to see if they want to leave. It's got a beautiful mist and fog over the field out here. There they are out there. Alright, I got my hole dug here, and it's looking pretty good here. I think it's about probably 1.5 feet deep or so, looking at it. So I got a lot of the clay soil that was below the topsoil out and piled up. And then I'm going to be mixing the topsoil I took from the top back in with some compost. So I'll mix it all together, and that will give a nice growing habitat for it that's fairly deep. Got some of the bigger rocks out, so those won't be in the way of the roots. So hopefully that will give it a good start. Alright, so I got my Jostaberry cutting here I got from the propagation show, and took all the little, it was starting to bud out already, so I took all the buds off, the lower ones, and left about 4 at the top there, and gonna bury it mostly underground there. And also got a little label here so that it won't lose track of what type of berry bush it is in the future. So just an aluminum pie plate or roasting pan works really well, a big roasting pan, and then hammer out the base of it so it's nice and flat, and then you can cut out little strips and use a ballpoint pen to write on it. So that's a very inexpensive way to make these without having to, they're not too cheap to buy them. They're probably 50 cents a piece or so to buy them. So this way it gives you kind of an infinite supply. A couple pie tins will last you gives you a lifetime supply unless you do a whole bunch. But anyway, and then I have some aluminum wire I got from some electrical wire that was on from the house that we tore down here, and so probably wasn't a good idea to have aluminum electrical wiring, but it makes very flexible and very nice combination for these little labels here. My dad also uses telephone wire, so the little wires where you get lots of strands and they're coated there, so that could also work really well too. Anyway, whatever you have on hand. Have to dig it out here. Can't get it down far enough. Alright, got the fun part done, and now it's time to do some more work and get the clay soil out of here and the rocks. I don't want to just walk off and say, oh, I'll do it another day, because that's the part that isn't so much fun, is the whole clay soil and rocks off. So got to find a good dumping spot, usually out in the woods or something like that, or someplace that I need to have it filled. But usually, let's see, do I have any spots here? No, sometimes I have some holes out here in the garden that need to be filled up. I don't know, I can't think of anything of holes out there. I'll probably just take it out to the forest out there, let it process it and turn it back into good soil. And so, alright, catch you guys on the next video. Bye-bye. You still here? Well, since you are, you might as well hit the subscribe button right now and give me a little thumbs up down there to show that you like the video. And if you don't, give me a thumbs down. But I will see you on the next video. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.